Hello, everyone. This is Marie Huggins again with the Mobility Collective coming to you today with another Power 5 interview. The Power 5 series is one in which we focus on introducing you to some of mobility's dynamic Black professionals. And today we have none other than the Andrew Jackson. Mr. Jackson, how are you today?
Hello, Marie. I'm doing very well. How are you today?
I'm good. I'm good. Thank you so much for taking your time. I know you have a busy schedule, so to take time out of your schedule and talk with the people, we are so excited to hear from you.
Thank you.
And I know a lot of people know you, some people do not. So let's start with a short intro. Tell me a little bit about yourself, who you are, how long you've been in global mobility, and your current role.
Great. Thank you so much, Marie. And thank you for doing this discussion. I really appreciate that. So,
Yes.
so as you said, my name is Andrew Jackson Jr. I have been in this industry now for almost 25 years. And
25.
25 years almost. And we're counting. So, absolutely.
That's
So,
amazing.
so I currently serve as the Global Mobility and Relocation Advisor at Warner Brothers Discovery,
Hmm.
which is formerly known as Turner Broadcasting Systems and or Warner Media Inc. for all those who would know our past names. So
Okay.
we just underwent a merger. So now the new company is Warner Brothers Discovery.
Okay, great. So tell me, I'm always interested. I want to know, how did you actually come to be involved within the global mobility industry?
Excellent question. So mine is a twofold career path. So I actually started working in healthcare, in the healthcare industry.
Oh,
So
okay.
people like, how did you go from healthcare to
Right.
global mobility, right? So, but I started in nursing years ago, went to nursing school, got out of nursing school with a concentration in hemodialysis, kidney transplantation, and organ donation.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
So here in Atlanta, I worked with Emory University for a number of years
Hmm.
in the dialysis units, and
Hmm.
then I went on up to work into kidney transplantation, which I love. But sometimes we get bored with things. Sometimes now healthcare
Hmm.
is always changing. There's a lot
Right.
going on in healthcare, but I felt myself just wanting to do something different. So,
Hmm.
and I've always been fascinated about real estate. So I said, why don't I look into real estate? The curiosity got the best of me. So I started
Right.
doing some research and I got out there and I found this place that was called Prudential Real Estate and Relocation back in the
Yes.
day, many years ago. And this was back in 1999. So that's how my career path started in global mobility. Started with Prudential Real Estate and Relocation back in 1999. And here it is almost 25 years later, and I'm still here doing what I love. I mean, I love serving people. I love helping people and helping people to uproot and move around the world. So that's what I do.
That's so mind blowing because you think of healthcare and it just seems like such a far departure from global mobility. But most people have those stories
Yes.
where they totally were not looking for global mobility, didn't know anything about it, heard something, fell into it. And then, this
Absolutely.
industry, once we grab onto you, you're not going anywhere.
Look, I always say that once you've been bitten by that relocation bug, it's hard to get away from it. So
It
that's where I
is.
found myself. I found myself in this industry, loving what I do, loving helping people. So whether
Mhm.
it's healthcare or whether it's global mobility, my true call in life is to help people. So that's what I'm doing. So yeah.
Oh, great. Now, over the course of your time in mobility, all those years, can you share with our audience some of the contributions that you've made in this space that you're most proud of?
Sure. So I guess when I look at the the internal lens and just recall things, my experience with Prudential Real Estate and Relocation Services, as well as my current role here at Warner Brothers Discovery. My contribution to global mobility, I think, first includes my professionalism that I bring to the table every day. So my respect that I have for the employees that are, as I said before, uprooting their families, uprooting their individual lives, moving their family members from point A to point B to unfamiliar territories, the whole 9 yards. I have a very, very, very high tolerance for those individuals because, as you know, moving is at the top rated, one of those really, really top stressors in life, So,
Yeah.
and I sort of have empathy and sympathy, the whole 9 yards for those employees who are doing that, because I always say that I'm going to try to put myself in your shoes, and how would I feel if I was asked to move from my safe place here in Atlanta and go to Hong Kong, and
Yes.
how would I really feel? So I take pride in trying to assure my employees that I understand how you're feeling. I understand what you're going through. I've done local moves before, and just local moves themselves can be stress. But
Yes.
can you imagine uprooting the family and moving around the world? That has to be total chaos in their lives. But
Right.
it's my job, my responsibilities to sort of reel those people in and to ensure them that, hey, you're not in this alone. I'm here to walk through it with you. I'm here to assist you in any way that I can, and go from there. So long story short, my loyalty to my employees, my loyalty back to the business, because I understand that, yes, I have a responsibility to take care of the employees, but I also have a responsibility to the business here at Warner Brothers Discovery, because there are things called budgets that we have to adhere to. There are things that are in place so that we can pretty much remain consistent with what we're doing across the board. So I have to be mindful of that as well. But I also am so grateful that my leadership team here at Warner Brothers Discovery, they understand who I am. They know my makeup, and they know that I'm going to do what I can for our employees as well as for the business as well. So I think my professionalism, my empathy, my sympathy to the employees, and just, ensuring that their well-being is taken care of throughout this process is what I bring to the table. So, and yeah.
And even when you talk about it, I can feel your heart for people. And that is that common thread that you find in our industry, the heart for people and wanting to help make their lives easier, better
Absolutely. Absolutely.
in the face of such stress, right?
You're right about that.
So when you think about global mobility and what it looked like when you got in the game, and you look at where we are now, what are some of the more positive changes that you've seen that you're most excited about? Or it could be positive changes that we're on the cusp of right now.
Absolutely, absolutely. So what I've seen over the years, and I'm grateful for, is the changes in technology. So I mean, so as you know, change, and here in at Warner Brothers Discovery, my position actually sits in HR. So we're always talking that, change is constant.
Right.
Everything is going to be changing every day. We're going through major changes right now at Warner Brothers Discovery. But just to see the changes in technology, how, we now have everything at our fingertips. Right now, we're working through the whole remote worker process.
Yes.
What does that look like for our organization and for our employees? But when you have technology right at your fingertips, I mean, you have your telephone, you have your cell phones, your iPhones, you have the computer, you have all the resources that you need right in front of you. So we can do our jobs anywhere that we are, so which makes it great for us. So I think just embracing change, you have to embrace it because it's a constant. It's going to happen. So I think it's important that, we as global mobility professionals, that we are clear even to our customers as it relates to our communication skills. How do we
Yeah.
talk to our people? So what I've seen over the years is that, sometimes you can, hey, here's a policy, give the policy to the employees and say, and we'll see you now when you get to the new location. But nowadays it's a little bit more different. And then
Yes.
especially for me and me being who I am, I do a lot of hand holding with our employees
Mm-hmm.
because I want to ensure that that personal touch is there, that they feel comfortable with the decisions that they've made as a collective family body. And then I just want to make sure, that even our flexibility in what we're offering to our employees, that they know that it's there, they understand it, and it really just makes their whole move, their whole transition so much easier. So the positive changes that I've seen is just the day-to-day operations
Mm-hmm.
throughout the global mobility space. Communication, the way policies are designed today. I mentioned flexibility. Yes, we have set policies, but there has to be some flexibility in what we're doing every day as well. So that's one of the positive approaches that I've seen as we right now are going through a whole new policy harmonization process where we're trying to merge three companies that had
Mm-hmm.
their own relocation processes, own relocation procedures in place. But now, how do we make those three companies one organization? So that's a battlefield, but
Yes.
we'll get there. We will definitely get there. So
Centralization is so difficult, right? Because, there's so many thought processes and so many positive things about each process, and trying to bring the best of all the worlds together to create
absolutely,
one harmonious um, service delivery model that all
absolutely,
three factions can agree upon. That's major and a huge undertaking.
it's
And so
huge.
if I was going to ask about the positive changes, sir,
Uh-huh, uh-huh.
conversely, I definitely ask you about anything that you'd like to see improved within our space.
Sure. So, so we're now in the month of February, which is Black History Month, of course, So seeing that we are in the Black History Month, I would love to see more diversity in global mobility.
Yeah.
So I know that we hear diversity and inclusion within our organizations all the time. But I think organizations really need to step back and say, well, what does that really mean
Mm-hmm.
in our organization? They really, really need to fine tune and define what diversity really means. So yes, we could look at it as saying, we need more Blacks in the industry. That would be awesome. Yes, that would be an awesome thing. But diversity itself within the industry, it brings different perspectives. It helps us to bring a well-rounded view about the industry itself and about our services that we have to offer. And then the professionalism that we all have, while we're in the global mobility, trying to thrive and be inclusive within the environment. So I think I would love to see, yes, more Blacks within the organization. And but what we found is that even from a Black perspective, and me being a Black African American, a lot of us are not seated in the seats that would
Right.
allow us to really be hands-on within the industry. So for
Mm-hmm.
me, that's what I would like to see improved in the space of global mobility. So will it start with us who are now in the industry? Probably not, but I think it needs to start at home within the organizations themselves. And they really, really, really need to look at what diversity and inclusion really means for the organization. And then it'll stem out into the industry. So
Right, because it is global mobility. That means people are moving all over the world to and fro, right? And so
absolutely, absolutely.
I'm also excited about the prospect of seeing more Black professionals, more people who look like me,
Yes.
um, stepping forward
Yeah.
and helping out and giving a face to our community within a community that does exist. It's just
Absolutely.
maybe a light isn't doesn't shine on it as
Absolutely.
often. And so, you mentioned Black History Month, and so I wanted to kind of wrap up our time with you by asking if there is a moment in Black history that particularly resonates with you, that is particularly meaningful to you, that you'd like to share with us today.
So when I saw that question, I started thinking immediately about, many events that have occurred, that through history. But something that really, really resonated with me was President Barack Obama and
Hmm.
First Lady Michelle Obama, of course,
Yes, sir.
and how I personally felt when they were elected for 2 terms, in the White House.
Yes, sir.
And then, I think that for me, that was one of the most proudest moments of my life, and
Hmm.
my experience. So,
Yes.
and even recently, I think about Vice President Kamala Harris,
Hmm.
now
Hmm.
being the first African American woman vice president, of
Yes.
the United States of America. So these are events that really, really make us proud. And it makes us proud to be an American. So,
Yes.
and do we want to see more of that? Absolutely. So
Absolutely.
absolutely. So yes, I think that's very important to me. And that has definitely, really been close and near and dear to my heart, just to see that we can do it, you
Yes.
know, and we should not even be telling our children, our grandchildren that, oh no, that rank, that status, that's just too high for you. You can't achieve that. Oh, yes, we can. We can
Yes,
do
we can.
whatever we set our mind to do. We can do it. So I think that has definitely resonated with me, down through the years, just to see the Obama step into office,
Hmm.
now to see Kamala Harris now in office, and doing her thing. And then I'm just sitting back waiting on who's going to be the next person to step up and,
Right.
take seats like that, so yeah,
That's true. And that is a beautiful example of the manifestation of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.'s dream,
exactly.
which brings us full circle, right? But
Mhm.
there's always more work that needs to be done.
Absolutely. And that I had in my notes too. I was like, you know what? Yes, we've come a long way, but do we still have a long way to go? Absolutely. Absolutely.
Absolutely.
But it's gonna take dedication, determination, and we gotta depend on and know that we can do this thing and just move forward. Step up and be heard, and we'll make
Yes.
it happen. We will definitely make it happen. So
Yes. Well, wow, this has been amazing. Thank you
uh,
so much for taking your time. It was great catching up with you and learning a little bit more about your experience in this space. And I'm certainly looking forward to getting to know you a lot better as we work alongside each other in the Mobility Collective, right?
absolutely, Marie. Thank you so much for having me on this session today. I really appreciate it. And as you said, looking forward to other opportunities where we can grow and learn this thing together. Okay.
Yes, sir. Now, everyone, this has been another great installment of our Power Five series. And if you didn't catch our first one with Kelly West of Miles West Group, then please take a moment, look at it. And in the meantime, we have more remarkable Black professionals coming to you. So look out for us next time.